welcome back to my channel. My name's Rachel and this is Stitched Up. How are we all doing? I hope you're having a really good week. So I'm back today to chat to you about my sewing plans for the summer, or at least over the next few weeks. And I've got a number of projects to share with you today with a little bit of a fabric haul with a difference, because this fabric haul is all fabrics from my stash. So none of them are new. And yes, I am trying to raid my stash to find fabrics to go with the projects that I want to sew up over the coming weeks. And I thought you'd be interested in me sharing that with you today. So I'll start with what I'm wearing. I am wearing a Tammy Handmade Naya Tee in just a plain white cotton jersey that I had in my stash. I think this is actually, it's a very sort of, well, I think it's probably got a bit of viscose in it because it's very drapey, but it's not as drapey as a viscose jersey, if that makes sense. The sleeve bands have sort of stretched out a bit, which is a bit annoying, but you know, it is what it is. And I'm wearing it with my new Rani Skirt by Tammy Handmade as well, which is a fabulous pattern. I absolutely love Tammy's patterns. I think they're amazing. And they're so, you know, straightforward, easy to sew. Her instructions are great. And I'm a huge fan. So the Rani skirt is this. It's just a gorgeous cotton viscose that I got from Abercan in Manchester when I was visiting my son back in March. And it was a remnant piece. It cost me about £5. It was just an absolute bargain. I'll put a better picture of the skirt in here so you can have a look. But yeah, whipped this up yesterday and I'm loving wearing it, to be honest. I don't wear skirts a lot, which is a shame because I have lots of tops and sometimes I don't want to wear dresses. So, you know, it's nice to wear a skirt for a change. So it won't be my last one. Well, this is actually the second Rani skirt I've made. I needed to size down because I have lost some weight, as lots of you have been commenting on my last couple of vlogs. So before we get started into my plans and makes, there's a couple of things I just want to mention. The first thing is, lots of people, well, not lots, but a couple of people, 2-3 people, every so often keep talking about the fact that I don't look at the camera when I'm filming. Now, there's two reasons for that. One is because I'm filming on my phone and it's really difficult to figure out what to look at when I am filming on my phone, because the actual camera is sort of off to the side a little bit here, and you have a tendency to want to look at yourself in the actual main part of your phone when you're filming. So I am really sorry if it looks like I'm not looking at you. When I'm looking at you, well, at me, which I feel is you looking at me, if that makes sense. That doesn't make sense, does it? But the other reason is because I actually have a lazy eye. And I don't know if you've noticed, you probably have, when I am super tired, it wanders completely. But yeah, it's this one here, I think you can see slightly. And I've always had it. I had glasses to try and correct it when I was younger, and it's not corrected it fully because I've got a squint. And so sometimes it just looks like I'm not looking at you, but I'm sorry, I cannot do anything about that. It's not something I talk about a lot because it's just something I've lived with all my life. And yeah, so what can I say? And then secondly, the other thing I wanted to chat about very quickly was about my weight. So I know lots of you have obviously noticed now that I've lost a lot of weight, and people have been commenting, asking me how I've done it and all that kind of thing. I've had some really lovely comments about how great people think I look, and thank you. I mean, looks are not everything, are they? Let's face it, it's not about the external bit, is it? It's about how you feel personally. So I'm not going to get into the weight thing in a big way because I know it's very triggering for lots of people, and I've certainly struggled with it all my adult life. Well, even as a child. Well, no, not as a child, but when I got to my teenage years, I struggled with my weight, and I always have ever since. I've always been a yo-yoer. I always probably will be. But yeah, I think after my surgery last year, and I gained a lot of weight after that because I was recovering from surgery and not as active as I normally was and that kind of thing. And it got to January and I really wanted to do something about it because I felt completely not myself. And I have been going to Slimming World since January, and I am just about half a stone away from my target now, and I'm really happy. I feel so much better in myself. I feel so much more confident, and I'm wanting to sew lots of nice things. So yes, I know lots of people have been asking me how I've done it. There is no magic bullet with weight loss. There's lots of fad things out there. There are all sorts of different ways of doing it. Everybody has to find out what works for them. And, you know, the bottom line is it's you know, healthy diet and keeping active, isn't it? That is the basis of it. Whichever way you choose to do that works for you, that's how it is. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I am still sort of getting my head around the change in my body, if that makes sense, because I am still sort of, you know, when it comes to sewing and we measure ourselves and everything else, and I'm looking at things, I'm still looking at things thinking that's not going to fit, etc., etc. So it's still taking me a while to get used to it. I don't know how long I will stay like this because I've been here before, guys, and I haven't maintained it, and I'm going to try really hard to, but you know, I'm not putting pressure on myself because I'm in a good place right now, and that's good. So anyway, let's get on with the plans. So I've got a number of fabrics here just to my right out of shot that I'm going to chat through with you, and the projects as well. I'm not going to go into loads of detail about the projects because I will link to them all down in the description box below. And if I can find any of these fabrics still, lots of them, as I say, have been in my stash for a long time, so they won't be available anymore, but I wanted to share them with you anyway because I know we all love looking at fabric, don't we? Let's face it. So the first one I'm going to talk to you about is the Dovestone Dress, which is a gorgeous summer dress pattern by Izzo Sews Studio. And I made this dress when it was released. Izzy reached out to me when she released this pattern and gifted me the pattern very kindly and asked me if I wanted to make it up. And I made it up in this beautiful, I'll put a picture of it here, beautiful tie-dye viscose. And I think I made this up, was it last year or the year before? And I took it on holiday with me recently and I still love it. It's such a straightforward make. It looks very complex, but it's really not. It's really easy, very quick to sew up. And yeah, it's easy fitting as well. Because of the tie straps, you can tie in numerous ways. It means from a fit perspective, it's actually quite easy to fit. So the sizing that I made in this originally was when I was a lot bigger than what I am now, but I still love the way it fits on me. So I'm not going to alter the sizing at all. I'm going to go with the size that I made then, which I can't remember off the top of my head. But the fabric that I've chosen from my stash is this beautiful, beautiful floral viscose. So yes, I have got this beautiful, beautiful floral viscose with these gorgeous sort of blues and purples in there, and I can't remember where I bought this from, but it has been in my stash a little while and I really want to get this sewn up. I think it will make the most beautiful Dovestone dress and I'm really looking forward to using it. Viscose, I think, is probably my favorite base. I just think it's so versatile, and this is quite a weighty one. You do get some viscoses that are really lightweight, but this is quite weighty. So I think with the drape of this and the weight of it means it will be easier to sew than some of the lighter weight viscoses. I think this is going to make the most gorgeous, gorgeous Dovestone dress. So that is my first project. The next one that I want to make is a co-ord set. Now, co-ords were really quite big last year, and again this year I'm seeing lots of them out there in the shops at the minute, actually, in ready to wear. So it seems that us in the sewing community have influenced ready to wear. Who would have thought it? But yes, I want to make a co-ord set, and the one that I want to make is the Tamarama Set by Swimstyle Patterns, which is a beautiful short-sleeved shirt and trouser pattern, a little bit oversized, but I think is absolutely gorgeous. Now, To make both of them takes about 4 to 4.5 meters of fabric, and I didn't have any length of fabric in my stash of that length that I wanted to use for this project. So I did actually buy this recently. So technically it has come from my stash, but I did buy this with this project in mind. And I know that this fabric is still on the website, it's still available. So this is from Stitch Fabrics, and it's a beautiful, beautiful linen. It's very lightweight. It is absolutely gorgeous. So it's black and white. It's not tie-dye, but it's like a sort of paint splash type viscose linen. I really love it. I bought 5 meters of this, and I think it's about £14 a meter, something like that. But it's like a lightweight linen viscose and really drapey still, but still has a little bit of structure with it. So it's going to be perfect for this set. And I just think this is really, really lovely, and will just be so versatile because it means that I can wear the shirt with maybe some black shorts, or I could wear the trousers with like a little vest top, and you know, it's going to work really well. So I love Stitch Fabrics. They have amazing fabrics, and this is, yeah, one of their Italian linen rayons. I will leave a link to it down below, as I say, because it is still available. I think they also had it in a blue and white, but I think that one has sold out. So I am really looking forward to making that. And then the next pattern I'm going to make is the Plum dress by Cocowawa Crafts. I talked about this on my Friday sews a couple of weeks ago, I think it was. And yeah, I was drawn to making this after my really gorgeous friends, Ruan and Tamlin, both have made this dress and look amazing in it. So I'm going to make it in this fabric, which is this beautiful orange and white seersucker fabric that I got from B&M Fabrics in Leeds when I was actually last with my gorgeous Northern Soul sisters. When we met up in Leeds a few weeks ago, we went to B&M Fabrics and I bought this from there. I do know that they also have this in Fabric Godmother, I think. They also do it in a blue colourway. But yeah, I've got 3 meters of this, and I am going to make the plum dress with it. I love this colour. Orange is one of my current favourites, and yeah, if I just bring it closer, you can see the sort of texture on this. It is a cotton, but it has some body with it because of the seersucker in it. So I think that's going to be really, really nice to work with that pattern. The next pattern that I'm going to make is I'm going to revisit a very much loved but older pattern that I've not made for about 3 years now, and that is the Saltwater slip dress by Friday Pattern Company. So I've made about 3 of these in the past, and I absolutely love this pattern. It is just the perfect summer sundress, and the versions that I've made are getting a little bit big on me now, but I don't think I'm going to size down. I think I'm going to stick with the size that I made previously. They're just a little bit large on my hips, but I don't mind having that extra fabric, to be honest. I think it just makes it a little bit looser and a little bit more breezy. And I took one of them on holiday with me recently and wore it and felt great in it. So the fabric that I've chosen to go with this pattern is this one, which I got in one of my Beyond the Pink Door subscription boxes a couple of months back. I absolutely love this fabric. It's paisley. I've got 2.5 meters. I think you need about 2 meters to do the saltwater slip. And yeah, it's a viscose. I don't know if I've just said that because my memory is shocking. Menopausal brain. And yes, I really love this. I think it's going to make the most gorgeous saltwater, and yeah, I'm looking forward to making it. I am thinking of making the bias binding on my Simplicity bias tape maker that I got secondhand a while ago because I haven't used it much. And I think the thing that's put me off making the saltwater again is there is so much bias tape that you have to make from the fabric. And now that I've got my bias tape maker, it should make life a little bit easier. So yeah, I think that will make another gorgeous saltwater to wear this summer if we ever get some lovely warm sunshine. So the next one is a plain fabric, and again it's a pattern that I have not made for some time, and it is the Paper Theory Zadie jumpsuit. So you must have all heard about this jumpsuit because it was massive a few years ago and everybody was making it. It's such a lovely woven jumpsuit and suits so many different figures. It's just so versatile. It's lovely. I have made this a couple of times and I want to make it again, but I want to make it in just a plain black viscose linen, which is what I have here. I've seen a couple of plain black versions and I just think it will be so wearable, and I'm not sure where I bought this from, to be honest. It might have been First for Fabrics, but I've got about 3 meters here and I just want a plain black Zadie because I think I will just wear it all the time. Yeah, love the Zadie. As I say, I haven't made it for a few years, so I'm looking forward to revisiting that pattern. But I think viscose linen is just such a great fabric because it works with so many different woven patterns, and I am excited to have a go at that pattern again. Next up, we have the new pattern by Tilly and the Buttons, which is the Nell. Now, I have this pattern. I really like it. I think she's absolutely nailed it this time. And I just love the straightforwardness of, you know, the bodice with the button up and then the gathered skirt and the different sleeve options. I really love the little puffball sleeve. I remember that first time around when I was a kid, when puffball skirts came out. Oh my gosh, they were awful. But yeah, puffball sleeve I can go with. And I really want to make this pattern. I think I'm going to make the midi length version with the puffball sleeves, and the fabric I've chosen, again, this is from deep in my stash, is this beauty. So this is a cotton lawn and it has embroidered dusky pink flowers all over it. I cannot remember where I bought this from. I've had it in my stash for a few years now, but I think this is just so lovely. And I didn't know what I wanted to make with it, to be honest, but I think this will work really well for the Nell. I think because the puffball sleeves need a little bit of body to get the effect of them, so you do need to use something not like a viscose or a viscose twill. You need something a little bit heavier, but obviously a cotton poplin would be really poofy, which is not a look that I really enjoy. So I think I'm going to go with this because I think this will work really well with it because of the cotton lawn and the little bit of embroidery, which just gives it a little bit more body. But yeah, if you have a closer look at that, it is absolutely gorgeous. Really, really lovely. And I very nearly destashed this, to be honest, but I'm so glad that I haven't because I'm so excited to finally get this made up. I love these colours, the sort of dusky pinks, one of my favourites. So I think that will make a really lovely Nell dress, and I'm looking forward to trying that pattern. Next up, we have a free pattern by Tiana's Closet, which I initially printed off back in March when we did the So Frugal challenge, and it was one of those that I put on the back burner thinking, yes, I want to make this further down the line. And now we're getting to summer. I think this is going to be a really lovely top that I'm going to reach for time and time again, and it is the Margot crop top. So this is designed for woven fabrics, lightweight woven fabrics, and I have this fabric in my stash from the fabric store in New Zealand that I have had forever. Again, it's between a cotton voile and cotton lawn. I think it's super pretty in this sort of blue and lemon print. It's like a floral print, but yeah, it's just so pretty. And I've got quite a lot of this, to be honest. And again, this was a fabric that I was going to destash, but I've decided to keep it, and I'm going to make that top. I would like to make some more versions of this top in probably plain colours as well, because I think they would work really well with lots of items that I've got in my wardrobe, like my shorts and my jeans, etc. But I am going to try it first in this beautiful, beautiful cotton and see how we get on with that. I will put a picture of the pattern here. Don't know if anybody else has made it. I haven't seen any other versions out there, but I am excited to have a go at that one. I love the sleeves on it. I am all about a dramatic sleeve, and I just love these sort of big gathered sleeves. I think they're just so gorgeous. So the next thing I am going to make is a lovely little set for my gorgeous little granddaughter Layla, who is 14 months old now, and it is the Tilly and the Buttons Indigo dress from the Mini Makes book. So I bought the Mini Makes book when it came out because obviously I've got a 14-month-old granddaughter who I'm excited to sew for, and this will be the first pattern that I have tried from it. So I'm going to make a little set, and I've picked two fabrics that are very different but I think will work quite well together. So I'm going to make the Indigo dress in this beautiful cotton with butterflies all over it in these beautiful blues, and then I am going to make a pair of Waves and Wild lightning leggings in this cotton jersey that I got as a remnant from First for Fabrics when I was up at Sew Toon a few months ago. I think together these really work. I think the blues are very similar, and I am not great at matching sort of clashing prints and patterns, if I'm honest, but I do think these work together well because the blues are coordinating, but you've got different scale of prints, and everything I read about clashing prints is to look at the scale and make sure your scales work. So you don't want the same scale of print in both fabrics, if that makes sense, but I think they're going to work. So what I'm envisaging is like the dress with a little pair of leggings, shorty sort of capri length leggings underneath. I think that's going to look really nice, and I think with her red hair they're just going to look gorgeous together. So I can't wait to make that. I haven't made much for Layla recently because she is so petite that sizing wise it's really difficult to know what to make for her. She is going into, I mean, considering she's 14 months old, she's going into a 9 to 12 months dress size, but she's in 3 to 6 months shorts, which is ridiculous, and 6 to 9 in sort of tops and t-shirts and things. So she's still very, very petite. So I'm going to have to really think about the sizing, and I'm just going to measure her again. I think that's going to be the easiest thing to do in relation to that. But what I have got is when I went to see Bronte at the beginning of the week, because we took Layla to get her first pair of shoes, bless her, Bronte's given me a massive bag full of clothes that's currently fit her to keep at our house, so that when she comes we've got that constant sort of change of clothes and things. So I'm going to use some of the clothes that I've got that she currently fits in and use those to sort of measure against the pattern. So hopefully I can make something that is going to fit her now. So I'm looking forward to making that. I think that's going to look really nice. And then the next pattern that I have on my list is the Vogue Fee 9311. Now, this is a pattern that I recently bought from Sew Direct because I am a VIP member of Sew Direct, and I bought this after seeing a few on Instagram of this pattern made up, and I absolutely love it. I think it looks so much better than it does on the pattern envelope. So I want to twirl this, and the fabric that I have got to twirl it with is this lovely red Seersucker gingham embroidered cotton that I got from Rainbow Fabrics probably about 6 weeks ago, something like that. I don't think they still have this in stock now, but I think this will be perfect to twirl this pattern, and because it was an inexpensive fabric, I don't feel like I'm wasting a lot of expensive fabric on a new pattern that I've not made before. I do sometimes struggle with the Vogue pattern block. It hasn't always fit me very well in the past, so I know that this pattern is designed to be a loose fit, even though it looks on the pattern envelope that it is supposed to be sort of it looks like it's more or less fitted, but it's not. It's a loose fit, if that makes sense. So I I want to toile it. Yeah, I think this will look really nice in that and be nice and wearable for the summer. And then if it works and I may need to make a few tweaks to it, I can then make it up in some of my more treasured fabrics. So yeah, phew, that's it. Apart from one other thing I do want to make, and I am absolutely coveting a pair of leopard print structured trousers, but I want to make wide leg ones, a bit like the Tilly the Button Thea pants or the peppermint wide leg pants. I want to make a pair of those in leopard print, and I do have a couple of leopard prints in my stash. This one I pulled out because I was thinking about using this. This is a viscose twill. I'm not sure where this came from, but this is the kind of thing that I'm looking for. I saw a pair in River Island on Monday when I was with my daughter, when we were looking for shoes for Layla. We had a look in the clothes shops as well. And in River Island, they'd got a gorgeous pair of sort of jean style trousers in leopard print, and I love them so much. And I want to make a pair. I don't think this fabric is quite right because it's quite drapey, and I want something a bit more sort of twill based, I guess, but I don't have any in my stash, so I am going to have to probably buy some. I think Lady McElroy do one in sort of like a stretch canvas twill. I think that would probably work, but I haven't seen any anywhere else. I know Fabrics Galore have a cotton poplin. I'm not sure what that feels like though, because obviously I can't feel it, and I don't know if I want them in cotton poplin. I'm not sure. Let me know what you think, if you've seen any anywhere, and I can go and have a look. So that's what, 10, 11 projects I have planned out, and I'm itching to get started, if I'm honest. Let me know what you think. If you've made any of these yourself, if you've got any tips for me, I would be really interested to hear from you. And I don't know what I'm going to start with first, to be honest, but I've got lots of things to choose from. And this is why I wanted to do this type of vlog today, because previously I've done plans vlogs sort of for the month, but then got sidetracked by the new and shiny things that get released and new fabrics, new patterns, because I'm such a magpie. And this time I thought, if I do a vlog where I've got quite a lot of projects that I want to get sewn up over the next few weeks, couple of months, rest of the summer, that kind of thing, I can obviously add in a few new bits and pieces that take my fancy along the way as well, and still have these plans in the back of my mind. I'm really looking forward to getting started on these. There are obviously 2 or 3 patterns amongst the list that amongst those that I've just talked about that I've made before, so they should be straightforward. And then there's a few new to me patterns in here as well, which I am excited to have a go at. So I hope you've enjoyed chatting with me today and looking at what projects I have planned out, and I will be back with you really soon. Take care. Bye.